I don't need that. All right, give it another 15, 20 seconds and we get started here. All right. Cheat sheet real quick. We'll go from there. Alrighty. All right. Yeah, I'm ready. This is Sports for Real with Coach Hall. Very, very interesting day yesterday. Found out some interesting information. If you're not aware, StubHub released their ticket price information about what their data tells them. We found out that the average ticket price to get into the Super Bowl this year is $9,700, with the lowest price being $5,300. Now this is per seat now, and the highest ticket goes all the way up to $54,000. Now I'm not sure if that's a seat or if that is a suite, but for $54,000, it's got to be a suite, and it better have all the greatest food amenities in the world for that kind of money. We talked about this yesterday at length, and like I said, I'd never pay no more than, I think about $500 is a worthy price for the Super Bowl. If it's more than that, then I won't be paying for it. If I'm ever going, it's going to be on the media pass. I don't want to get into that yesterday, but that's one of the things I came across. And also, last night, I came across an article about the Patriots. Mike Vrabel, he announced, or it was announced that even though that Josh McDaniels was going to come back to be the offensive coordinator, they let it be known that they interviewed Eric Bieniemy. If you remember, Bieniemy, he was the coordinator of the Chiefs, got a couple of rings with them, but he doesn't have a whole lot of favor around the league. So he left the Chiefs to try to get out of that umbrella and go on his own, but he went to Washington, and then he just happened to get there at the wrong time. The whole coaching staff got fired. So he goes to UCLA, and evidently that didn't go too well. So now he's trying to get back into the NFL, and he tried to go with New England, but they decided to go with Josh McDaniels. So I saw a report out in the New England camp saying that was a great hire, but as I think about it, Josh McDaniels has been fired a couple of times himself. So what makes this guy so much better over Bieniemy? Well, the difference is Bieniemy, even though he was labeled as the offensive coordinator, he never really called the plays. That was Andy Reid, so he didn't get credit for it. And McDaniels did call plays, so he probably has more experience over Bieniemy, and that's probably the reason why they went with him. But I thought that was interesting that Bieniemy, he just don't seem to get a fair shake in the league. So I don't know what he's going to do, but we'll see. Also last night, before I get into the topic of the Eagles, you saw there was a plane crash yesterday in Washington, D.C. You had American Eagle on final approach just about to land when he got hit by a helicopter. Well, they got the investigation going on, but I can tell you right now, that is an air traffic control issue. Amongst the many things that I did try my hand at air traffic control. Now, I've got to be up front with you, I didn't make it. That's the kind of job that exposes your flaws, and if you go in there trying to bear down and press and do everything out of your comfort zone, you're not going to make it. It's one of those jobs where you have to say the hell with it and just go with the flow and just react that way. But if you put too much mental stress on yourself, you're not going to make it. But one of the scenarios I do remember was a helicopter in do you clear a plane? Well, actually, do you clear the helicopter when you have a plane approaching for landing? And no matter how fast that helicopter is going, it's never going to go faster than that jet. So if a helicopter is there, you're going to have to put him in a holding pattern until that plane lands. So nobody said anything about the ATC, but mark my word, that's an ATC issue. Either somebody didn't pass him off correctly, or the instructions didn't reach the helicopter pilot, or somebody fell asleep at the switch for a supervisor. Because anytime you're on the scope, you got a supervisor that's behind you. So if you miss it, they're supposed to catch that. And mark my word, that's an ATC issue. When they finish their investigation, that's what they're going to come out with. All right, let's go back here. I got all these people dinging me. Hello to everybody. Muhammad Emir, Mutlu, Icy Prods. I think the Eagles player is cheating. I got that the other day, and that's the reason why I asked the question. Dome Peace McGrill, for those that don't know football, ask these type of questions. For those that don't know football, ask these. Oh, so you trying to tell me that I don't know football? Well, come on with it then. Since you know so much, come on with it. I got over 40 years in this football game, and I can match up with anybody out there, from the Shannon Sharps to the Bill Belichick's. You bring them on. I can match with any of them when it comes to this football, man. I asked the question because somebody asked, should the rules be outlawed? Now, in this kinder, gentler world of football, the tush push actually brings a little toughness and violence in it. But if you have a team that's bulky up front, it's almost impossible for the defense to stop this play. You saw what Washington did with this guy Louvu. He trying to time it, and they jumped over the top 2 times, and the defensive tackle, he jumped offside 2 times. It got to the point where they say they were trying to stall the game. So they were going to award them a touchdown if they kept doing it. Well, what are they supposed to do? I mean, you're already rooted into the ground, and if a guy pushes you into the end zone, is that really on your own volition? No. So for you to ask a question about my IQ about football, it sounds like to me you don't know what the hell you're talking about. So you go somewhere with that, man. All right, actually remove this player, diabolical. Run back is open, engaged in the tackle. Can push the ball carrier. Okay, let's go back to the origins of the Bush push, since you think you know so much. That started with USC and Notre Dame. Up to that point in the history of football, since you're trying to tell me that this is something that is automatic, it was not a rule. You could not do that. And that when they pushed when Reggie Bush pushed Max Lyon in the end zone to beat Notre Dame that time, it was a huge controversy because the referees did not call a flag for that. So that should have been a penalty. And they changed the rule to make it kind of more exciting, or better yet, to give an advantage to certain teams. Like at that time, USC had the long winning streak, and they didn't want to take it away from them on a play like that. So the NFL, just like all of them, they're all copycat leagues, so they start allowing variations of the rule. But in reality, you're supposed to fire off the ball and clear a path for the running back. But to have somebody aid you by pushing you, that is not good football. That's rugby. That's not football. So you go to hell with that. All right, Sheena Hartwell says hello. Pico said you're really smart. Wish you could know all that stuff, even for a little bit like you. Well, I appreciate the compliment. Again, Sheena Hartwell says hello. Draft better players and stop crying. No other football fan. Well, listen, you tell them that, man. Why stream only got 2 likes? So much knowledge. I appreciate that. Now, I put the question out there, should it be allowed? I want to know what you guys think. And this guy's attacking me like I don't know what I'm talking about. A lot of people say it should be outlawed. I think that I'm like on the edge with that, because you have, it gives the offense a tremendous advantage. And it's extremely hard to stop that play. But at the same time, if you got the beef and to push people around, great. But I think the offensive lineman would rather do it the old-fashioned way, blow you off the ball like that, because that's what real football is about. Whatever the rules are, people are going to exploit it, and I'm kind of on the fence with it. But, you know, it's kind of hard to determine where the ball is when you do that tush push, unless you see what happened to Buffalo. Buffalo clearly, you know, they did the same thing against Kansas City, but they said that they were short. The first guy said he had the first down, then the other guy come behind him and said, no, he didn't make it. So if you can't truly see where the ball is, you're gonna have to go with the call on the field. And it's kind of difficult for me to accept that Buffalo did not get that first down after the first guy on the side where the ball was called it a first down, and the guy behind it reversed him. Why is that? Then they go to New York for the verification. So I smell a rat when I see stuff like that. So the only way to do that is either take that play out of the game, or you put a chip in the football so we can get a location about where it is. Now, it's my understanding they have that into the hockey pucks. If they can do it in the hockey puck, they should be able to do it in the football. I don't know where they're going to put it, maybe on the laces or something, but I think they can figure out some kind of way to get a location sensor on the football, and that'll put the rest all of the other crap. But anything that you can devise as an offensive coordinator and it works, hey, tip your hat to them. But somebody's eventually going to come up with something to stop that. And the problem with it is, yeah, you could put a whole bunch of defensive linemen up there and clog that middle up, but that's when they're going to pull the ball back and throw it on you, and then you're going to be caught short-handed. So, again, it's an unfair advantage to the defense. The same way with the no-huddle offense, where the referees have to hold the ball, allow you to get your substitutions in. If they didn't do that, then the defense won't have any chance, man. And all the rules are in favor of the offense, and I think they ought to do something to level the balance of the defense, or at least let the defenders start to play the game again. Because right now they got a whole bunch of rules where they can't do this and they can't do that. But if you take all that away and let them defenders hit those receivers coming across the middle and lay a hit on the quarterback, then you start to see some real football. But right now, the way it's going, that's not going to happen. So I think if that's the case, they should outlaw that Bush push, Tush push, whatever you call it. All right, 2 likes, cuz likes like this. Let the apple roll from the, what the hell is he talking about? Man, you better get blocked talking crazy like that. So says I'm a UFC guy. Quarterbacks y'all talking about don't have the strength like Jalen. I disagree with that because Josh Allen is strong. He got stuff. I've seen other guys get stuff too. The Lions suck compared also. You must be an Eagles fan. Coach, as far as your question is, people pushing in high school and college, I thought it was allowed, but I think you're right. It should be outlawed. Yeah, this is all new, man. It's not going to get outlawed until it gets outlawed on the NFL level, then everything will trickle down. But I don't have anything against an offensive coordinator coming up with something. Hey, congratulations, and keep on doing it as long as it works. But you do know that you expose your quarterback. When he's under that pile, especially when you're fighting for fumbles, a whole lot of violence goes on down there. They're grabbing and pulling and poking and everything else down there. Somebody's quarterback going to get hurt, and they keep sending Hurts in there like that. They're going to fold him up. Now, if you're going to do it like what Baltimore is doing. They took Mark Andrews and have him running up in there. Take Jackson out of the equation. Then you don't have to worry about your quarterback getting hurt. But somebody's going to end up messing up one of these quarterbacks on a play just like that, man. But again, like John Parham say, risk for reward. All right, let's see what everybody's saying. We got 11 votes so far. 55% of you say no, it should not be outlawed. Yeah, but we're going to keep doing it. If you don't like it, stop it. Hey, I agree. Until they change the rule, somebody's going to have to stop it. And if I was like Washington, yeah, let Hurts come up in there. We're going to grab him and choke him by the neck until they unpile him. I bet they won't call it again. If you recall, Kansas City was running something like that with Mahomes. He got dinged up like that. Mahomes hasn't done that since. And I think that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to do something to these quarterbacks, and I guarantee you that'll put a stop to that. I don't advocate dirty football, mind you, but I'm telling you how these guys think. If you're going to keep doing something to me and I can't do nothing about it, well, let me find something I can do. And I got direct access to your quarterback under that pile. Chris Bristol, what's going on, man? I'm doing all right. Yeah, Hurts is built different, but I never seen a quarterback one throw on his back and you hit him right and fold him up. He can get hurt. So if he bleeds, you can hurt him. I don't care how many pounds he lifts. Andrew, yeah, okay, I just read that. But yeah, I just wanted to say that because I had a comment the other day when I did the show, should NFL change certain rules, or what rules should they change? And that's one of the comments I got from one of the fans, and it was a good question because I know a lot of people are they're not happy about that particular rule because it doesn't look so much like football; it looks more like rugby, and it's a legitimate question as far as I thought. But all right, we're gonna keep doing it. Chris Bristol. All right, but yeah, but going back to that that helicopter plane crash, that American Eagles flight, they were just about to touch down when they hit the helicopter. So I don't know what the helicopter pilot was doing, first of all. Even if he got cleared properly, his altitude must have been too low. But it's going to come back to the point that it was a ATC problem, because when that plane has been cleared on final approach, that means nothing should be in his way. And if there's a helicopter around, once he hit a certain point and he hadn't been cleared, just like a plane, you go into an automatic holding pattern. And when you go in the holding pattern, when the area clears, then they will release you to land or go across. Now, Washington, D.C., that's congested airspace, and that makes it all the more difficult. But again, this is going to come back to who cleared that helicopter to be in the flight of that plane. And somebody in ATC is going to, his head's going to roll. And I don't know if you know it, but here, when the plane crash, they seal everything. They close the airport, and they close the maintenance areas, and until the investigation is complete, everything is going to remain sealed. So I don't know when they're going to open up that airport again, but we might be looking at a week or two. But they're going to look at everything, because everything right now is sealed, and they're looking at those tapes of ATC. They're going to look at everything, and I'm telling you, it's going to come back to somebody made an improper clearance, and that helicopter, I think his altitude was too low. He's supposed to fly over that, because as the planes are coming down, they're losing altitude. He's going to have to fly over that. So why was he flying so low in the flight of the path? Something is just not right with that. All right. Okay, I already talked to him. Nobody's talking to me anymore, but that's okay. But yeah, I started out talking about Eric Bieniemy, and I think he eventually get some kind of job in the NFL, but I don't think that nobody wants to give him a chance as a coordinator. They didn't want to give him credit for what the Chiefs did, but they had to have some kind of input or value to that team, otherwise he would not have been there. Eventually, Andy Reid's going to give it up. He's approaching 70, and unless he wants to die on the sideline, I think that he's going to eventually go away. Walt Butler, what's going on? I think eventually he's going to retire the next couple of years. If they get this three-peat, then they're going to come back to try to get 4 in a row. They're going to keep on going to get as many as they can get. And then when the wheels start to fall off, that's when you're going to see Reid walk away. But if you think about it, though, the history of America, people want to get to a certain age and they want to retire. All that's out the window now, because the next thing after retirement is death. And if you don't have anything to do, you're going to speed that process up. So as long as you're functional and you can be productive somewhere, what's the big deal about retirement? Unless you just want to do something, you don't want to do anything. I mean, but those people like that, again, that rocking chair in retirement will kill you. And Reid, he's successful at what he's doing. Yes, he's getting up pushing 70, but why not keep on doing it? Look at Pete Carroll. He just came back off the sideline. He's 73. And Bill Belichick, he's about to be 73. He's taking on a college job. These guys are doing things and keeping their mind fresh, and they're living. But as soon as you stop and not doing anything productive and not moving around like you used to moving, you're going to decline real quick. And I think it was a great idea that those guys came off the sidelines to get back in the game. And I think because of that, Reid is not going to go anywhere anytime soon. So it'll be interesting to see just how long they do keep that up. But just to recap, I started off talking about the ticket prices for the Super Bowl. I talked about that yesterday and then rehashed that a little bit today. As you know, the nosebleed seats are $5,300. The average price of the ticket this year is $9,700, and so far the highest ticket is $54,000. Not $5,400, $54,000 to watch one football game. I can see if you're a big corporation and you want to invite, you got a suite that costs you $54,000 and you want to invite X amount of people there, get you some clients in there, make some deals, then it'll be worth it. But for the average Joe, I don't see that happening, man. I mean, you can save up all your life, and then when you get to that position and you go to that game, and after the game is over with, you're going to sit there and think, was that really worth it? Hell no, it wasn't worth it. So that's just my opinion on that. And again, the helicopter plane crash in D.C. last night. So far, they pulled like 19 bodies out of the Potomac. If you guys are old enough, you remember back in '82, they had a plane. I can't remember if he was approaching or what happened, but he hit that 14th Street bridge, and they ended up in the Potomac. They had to save a bunch of people out of there. And it seemed like when there's an accident in the Potomac, it's always cold, and that makes for a very dangerous situation. On top of the crash itself, because of hypothermia. And right now they pulled 19 people out, and the plane had like 60 people on board, 4 crew, and then you have the helicopter pilots. They're in there too. So I think by the day they're going to be able to find whatever they're going to find, and after that, that's going to be as far as the search. But again, it's going to go back to an ATC problem. So they're going to investigate, but I'm telling you right now, that's what happened, the ATC mix-up. All right, Edwin CV says you have to keep your body moving and eating right and walk with the Lord to keep on keeping on in retirement. That is correct. Trent Bradshaw, Boom, I don't know how you pronounce that. Boemi or Boem? I'm not quite sure how you pronounce that, so straighten me out. But what's going on, man? All right, let's check the poll results. Right now, 59% of the people says that this push should be outlawed. I don't think it's going to be outlawed unless this is the thing that gets Kansas City beat, and then that'll be something that they were outlawed. But I appreciate you guys chiming in with me. I just thought it was a topic that needed to be talked about a little bit. I know people are going to be on the fence. I know the Eagles fans like it because it's in their advantage, but when it works against them, then you'll hear a different tune. I keep you guys up to date on football news as we head into the Super Bowl. Got to have something to talk about until the game approaches, and I thought that was an interesting topic. And one last thing about the rabidness of the Eagles fans, I told you guys yesterday that he had a 18-year-old Temple student. He was celebrating the Eagles win, and somehow he's climbing up a light pole, and he slipped down and hit his head on the concrete and knocked him out, brain damage, and he died 2 days later. So that's a tough one there, but you got to be in control when you celebrate your teams, man. It's great for them to win, but it ain't worth the risk of trying to lose your life over that, man. Walt says no, the tush push should not be allowed. You're about in agreement with most people. 53% of this poll so far said the same thing. But anyway, I got to get out of here, man. Edwin CV, take it easy. Walt Butler, appreciate you chiming in. Trent, even the man that was riding me earlier, not Chris Bristol, but Dome Peace McGrill, he was on me earlier, but, you can't beat me like that, man. Talk to the fans that don't know football, but that is certainly not me. So, anyway, I got to get out of here. I got to go to work, man. Hopefully I can come on this afternoon where we can talk a little bit more NFL news and anything else that's going on football related. You got to get it in before the Super Bowl is over with because, basketball, that's just something for people to do until football comes around. And we're going to have to endure it for a couple of months until football returns. So until then, I'll see you guys on the other side. Wherever you are in the world, have a great day. I'm out of here, man. I got to go to work. Peace.